So I gotta change my oil on my C7 Z51 Corvette, and so in the cap it has oil top 5W30, which is the type that I'm going to put in here. I've already bought me the brands that I'm going to use. This car takes 9.8 quarts, so I got two. The 5W30 Advanced full synthetic. The most important thing is this right here. You have to get the Dex OS1 for this car. And that's the oil filter that I picked up. So I'm working on jacking up the car in the air so you can see underneath what I gotta remove. So these are the bolts you're going to take out to drain the oil. Just so I remind you, this vehicle is a dry sump system, so that's why you see two bolts underneath. There's this one, and then there's that one. That one and this one. They're 15-inch bolts, so you gotta take those two out, and then you gotta unscrew your oil filter and drain them into your pan. Now I'm hoping that you've got a completely empty pan, because it's like 10 quarts, so it's gonna take a lot to drain it. What I'm draining mine into is this pan right here. If you do have one of these kind of pans, do make sure you take this loose so it can get air inside so the oil can go through. And for me to take off my oil filter, I have this device. Basically I can fit any oil filter in. I can just clip one side in right here, and then when I tighten this side down, it's going to turn the whole thing and cause the oil filter to turn. So let me get all that loose and drained. I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. So I got everything drained and into my oil pan. You see a small oil filter right there. This is my new oil filter. So something very important I want to tell you about. There's this ring inside this oil filter. Your old oil filter has this ring also. Now, you want to make sure that when you take this old oil filter off, that you get this ring also. Make sure that ring comes off, because sometimes that ring can still be up inside this oil filter containment. You don't want to make the wrong decision of putting this on while that other ring is still on there, and you have two rings back to back. Because if that happens and you cut your car on, I guarantee you, you're gonna have oil all over the place. It's gonna come out. Believe me, it's happened to me before. You gotta make sure that you get this other oil ring from inside that compartment. Also, make sure it comes out with that oil filter. That's very important. Okay. Now the other thing I want to talk about is, when you tighten on these bolts, they do have specifications saying that you're supposed to torque these down to 18 foot-pounds. This one and that one. Now they got a specification saying you're supposed to torque this down to 22 foot-pounds. There's a special part you're supposed to put on the end of this to tighten that up with. I don't have that part, so I'm gonna just go with the good old hand tight. Get that as tight with my hand as possible. As far as when I torque down the other bolts, I have my torque wrench. But the thing is that I can get my wrench on this one easily. That one, you'll never get your wrench on that one. You're gonna need another part, and that's gonna be this. Need a 15. Can't get my focus right. But you need a size 15. Basically, you're gonna put that in there and then put your torque wrench on the end of that and then torque it down. As I can get it on there with a quick. It's basically be on there like this until you get it on there, and then you can use this to torque it down. Okay, but also there are rings on the ends of these bolts too. You want to make sure that those rubber rings are still on there when you put them back on also. So let me get it all tightened back up, then I'll show you the process of putting more oil in. So I got everything tightened back up underneath the car. All that's left is to put oil back in the car. Again, this car takes 9.8 quarts. Now the jugs that I bought, they are 5 liters. So I'm going to pour all of one jug in and a little bit of the other jug in. That is all of the first jug. This is the second jug. Now I just want to look at how you can tell how much fluid is in the jug. I'm going to try to stop this fluid line like right in this area. That'll tell me that I have at least 9.8 quarts in the car. I'm gonna put this on a level surface so I can be sure. And there's definitely a quart and a half left. So it's definitely right there. So now, to actually test or check how much oil is in your car, you have to start your vehicle and get it to operating temperature. Operating temperature is around 175 degrees on your oil. At that point is when you can turn off your car, let it sit for 5 minutes, and then check your oil levels with your dipstick, which is located here. But right now, I gotta go and start the car actually to reset my oil gauges. Anyway, but for it to get to operating temperature, it's going to take a long time. It could take almost 10 minutes or so. So I'm not going to record that long of my video, but I will show you how to reset your oil indicators. So this is my dash right now, and I was going to show you how to reset your oil life, but before I go into that, this is my normal layout that I have set up, and on this layout I usually keep my oil pressure on this side and I keep my oil temperature on this side. And usually when you want to change or check your oil, you want to get this gauge up to 175 and then cut your car off and wait 5 minutes to check your oil. Now you can also get to this by going into performance. When you're in performance, you want to go all the way down till you see oil temperature. You can also see what the temperature is on your oil here. Now, to set your oil life, you have to go into info. And in your info, you scroll down until you see oil life. And then you can hit the right button. Show what I'm controlling. So I'm controlling everything from here. So you're gonna hit the right button. You hit the right button. It brings up the reset options. And then hit the select button. And it resets my oil life. So now I just gotta let the car run until I get my oil temperature up to 175, and then I'll be able to check my oil. So my car has gotten to 175 on an oil temperature gauge. At the point, supposed to let your car sit for 5 minutes, which my car has set for 5 minutes now. And then you check your oil gauge. I've already wiped it one time and put it back in, but you want to see your oil get to this little spot that says hot. Can't really get it to zoom in as much, but right there. So mine is definitely on the hot area, so I can say that mine is pretty much good. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.